Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters. So today I'm going to talk about how my biopsy went, which is weird. Something like really magical happened yesterday, which I guess I don't think I uploaded a video yesterday in English. So I did not talk about, yeah, I did it early in the morning. All right, so my daily agenda, now that I don't have a job, consists of harassing various government, offices, among other things, and taking care of my baby, who is currently with my mom again. My family took the baby today because I had this minorly invasive surgery, aka biopsy. It literally took 10 minutes. So, doing my research, I thought that I was actually going to have a, fine needle aspiration, situation here, which is actually not what happened because, this is so disgusting to explain, but in case it's interesting to anybody. Well, first off, let me talk about, okay, whatever. Why am I answering messages while doing a YouTube video? I should really chill with this. Okay, all right, so I guess they were having an emergency or something, so I waited for almost an hour. I didn't really care because I had some emails I needed to send for my side gig. I should really make a video talking about how the mattress business is going. It's going pretty well, but separate discussion. Trying to stay focused here. Okay, so I went in and the doctor's like, so they told me that, what the heck did this guy even say? Brain is not working. They're like, I'm not really super clear, what this is exactly. So first I need to take a look at it, myself with the ultrasound, and then we're going to decide what to do. So it wasn't really a fine needle aspiration. They instead had to use a different type of needle, but it was so disgusting. I could feel the needle moving around even though I had local anesthetic. Thank God I've given birth by this point, because that was the actual most disgusting experience of my life. There was so much blood. I was explaining this today in Russian where they were like, do you want a mirror to see the baby coming out? I was like, nope, don't care, don't want to think about it, disgusting, nope. I'm like, thank God there are people who can do healthcare, because I was never meant to be one of those people. The story I usually tell people is I was 15 years old and in Portugal with my grandparents, and I stubbed my toe and it cracked my toenail and it started bleeding, and I started crying because I was grossed out. So, and I wasn't a kid, I was a teenager, still, what? So essentially, if it was a fine needle aspiration to drain the fluid, it would have taken 45 minutes, but because we were literally just biopsying, this basically it had become a gelatinous substance that had kind of broken down, and so you have to sample from that to figure out if it's being caused by some sort of infection that's gone haywire, or if it's cancer or some other sort of benign growth. So I did a crap ton of Googling after I came home. They already took notes that I was able to pull on how the procedure went. And, it's kind of all these things like cat scratch disease, or strep, or all these other things that don't make sense, or this other Japanese sounding one, which is I don't know, that one will kind of resolve itself. Some autoimmune stuff, whatever. But the thing is, the problem with each of these things is that you have to have these B symptoms, kind of, which are night sweats and fever and all that. So at first I thought that it couldn't be lymphoma cancer, and there's apparently both Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I know two people who had non-Hodgkin's. I don't know the difference. Maybe if I find out I have cancer, I will work on figuring that out. But, yeah, the thing with cancer is usually it doesn't start out hurting, but because this was a rapid cell growth, which could be an indication that it's cancer, especially lymphoma, because those can grow very aggressively very early on. You can go Google all this yourself if you're curious to know. This quality is so bad because I don't have the natural lighting. Yeah, I got a nice band-aid there from where they cut me open. Put my hair back in a braid to keep it out of the way. But yeah, so it seems like, based on everything I ruled out, it could be two things. It could be something called a benign lymphoid hyperplasia, or it could be a lymphoma cancer. I'm not a doctor, so you should not believe what I'm saying. It's just, this is like, if we're just Googling what are the symptoms, it just doesn't seem like it's something bacterial. Like, I don't think any sort of, like, I mean, it is theoretically possible that it is something that could be cleared through, what is it, like, through antibiotics, like intravenously, depending on like what it is and stuff. I just can't really find like a viral or bacterial infection that like would match this category of what is going on here, like putting in all the symptoms. It's something like I had thrown out my back, and actually while I had thrown in my back, it started hurting, and I thought it was linked to the back. But then my back started feeling better, and then I noticed that there was like a lump here. Then it was bothering me in the middle of the night. Then I went to the hospital, got an antibiotics. The antibiotics didn't work. 5 days later, I got different antibiotics. Then I was still not feeling better after like 72 hours, and I was like, I gotta like go to the doctors again. Then I was dealing with all my Medicaid crap, and then went to the doctors on Thursday. The earliest I could schedule the ultrasound was basically Monday or Tuesday. I scheduled the ultrasound Tuesday, realized it was bad, and then finally went to the ENT, which literally I think I had like 2 or 3 doctors tell me already I needed to go to an ENT. Then the ENT's like, yeah, you gotta go for a biopsy, because they looked at the ultrasound. They're like, yeah, this isn't good. So that's everything that's been going on. Again, based on like my research, I really think it could be benign lymphoid hyperplasia or lymphoma cancer. Depending on how aggressive the cancer is, they could just like cut it out and it would be fine. Or you have to do a little bit of chemo. I'm very lucky that the excellent news is that my Medicaid went through yesterday. Thank God, man, because at least something's working in my life for once. But yeah, so that's really good, because that means that all of the like 2 ER visits and the ultrasound and the procedure for today, just thank you tax dollars, gone. All right, so now the billing department at the hospital is going to stop doing courtesy calls to me to ask me where their money is after less than 2 weeks of me even going into them for whatever's going on to begin with. Because I went to sit down to sign in, and it wasn't like, how are you paying today? I'm like, is my Medicaid already active? She's like, oh yeah, I see it in the system. And I'm like, all right, however, I guess it's like sort of centralized. I have no idea, but that's really cool. So now I'm sort of like, if I do have cancer, but I'm on Medicaid, should I just stay in the US and get treatment instead of going to Finland? Like, what's the word? In my soul, it will kill me, but at the same time, like, chemo makes you really tired, apparently, so, like, I almost rather have chemo where, like, I have help from my family, like, then, even though I was like, it'd be cheaper in Finland, but if I'm on Medicaid, it's actually not going to be cheaper in Finland, so yeah, I mean, it's, like, everybody's like, why the heck are you sitting here thinking that you have cancer? Well, because, like, it's either a benign growth or it's either cancer. At this point, I was like, yeah, the doctor who was doing the biopsy did say the C word, cancer. Like, I was like, I freaking knew this could be cancer, and, like, they're trying to act like it's not that bad, but I know that it could be that bad. But we don't know. Really, it's impossible to know. Apparently, there's also something that happens where after you've had a baby, while you're having the baby, like, while the baby's inside of you, like, your body is, like, trying really hard not to, like, reject the fetus, so it's, like, doing something very particular to your immune system. Then once the baby is out, it kind of has to, like, recalibrate, so it can, like, take a while for it to recalibrate, so maybe it's been something like that. I'm not, like, incredibly postpartum at this point. It's been more than a year, but, like, that could be what's going on. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned about this because gotta wait 3 days for results. I don't really know what this is going to look like. I don't know if I can get this cleared up in the next month, and I don't know if I should just eat the money with my flight to Finland, because at this point, this is just really unclear. This really sucks. I feel like I've wasted my whole summer doing, poor people admin, harassing the government to give me Medicaid, and I still, well, I'll run out of money to pay my mortgage in about 3 months, but that's fine. Perhaps sooner, because that's not accounting for other expenses that are not a house. I actually was just watching this compilation of YouTube videos of people saying how much money they earned and, like, explaining sort of, like, how much money you have to earn for things to, like, work out and all of that. And, like, yeah, it really doesn't make any sense because rent is like 2,000 and like most people are rent is supposed to be like 30% of your income and like most people do not earn $6,000 after taxes. It sounds like most people are earning somewhere between like 25 and 3,500 after taxes. So USD, not euros. So I don't know. I was actually really upset after the surgery and like crying a little bit because like I don't know why. I think this stuff stresses me out a lot. Like, it grosses me out. That's really the better way of putting it. But hopefully it's something that's benign and just, either way, it's going to have to get removed. Like, this thing is not just going to, like, go down. This is, like, definitely the weirdest thing I've ever had happen to me, besides the one time I got shingles as a 23 or 4-year-old. But, hey, I mean, if I have cancer, I'll live, so it's fine. Like, what's the worst that could happen? And if I have to get cancer treatment and if I stay in New Jersey, I don't have to pay for it. So that's what's up. So right now, because my Medicaid application went through, I'm kind of chilling. Like, I feel way less stressed out than I normally would or have been for the last over 45 days that it was pending. It was pending for actually almost 2 months at this point. I submitted it on June 13th and it's now August 7th. Lovely. Yeah, so, I don't know, I think if I have cancer, I don't know, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I have cancer. I really gotta, like, think more about this. Well, no, I shouldn't. I should stop thinking about this. I should distract myself with all the work I have to do, because that's what keeps my brain happy. So I'm a workaholic. But I think that's everything, so let's hope I don't have cancer. Let's hope it's just a weird growth that we have to remove. I'll probably have a disgusting scar on my neck. Not thrilled about that, but better than having a weird lump on my neck for the rest of my life. That wouldn't happen anyway. Apparently, if it's an infection, it could like spread and I could go septic and all this crazy stuff. So, yeah, whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna go now and honestly get ready for bed. It's already like 8 o'clock at night. And that was so much stress that I can't handle it anymore. Alright, well, that's everything I have for today. This video, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'll figure that out soon. Let's just hope that, hey, even if I have cancer, I'll still be doing YouTube, so whatever, who cares. Alright, until next time, bye.